UEFA Nations League cranks up a notch, that's right, as we try to figure out who's getting promoted and who's getting relegated. We've got the second legs coming at you, and then next. That's right, folks, back once again with another Relegation video. Today it's all about the UEFA Nations League. It is the second legs of the promotion relegation matches. That's right. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you in a second. If you do where you've been, smash your subscribe and you want to stop for Blackburn Rovers, Nations League, World Football. We're going to all here under one Ruski. That's right, the likes of Scotland, Turkey, even Georgia are in the driving seat, but they're not there just yet. They just have the upper hand from the first legs. We'll take a look at those second legs and more in a second. Of course, big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. So what we're going to do now, though, is revisit those first legs and then take a little look at those second legs and see who will be celebrating promotion at the end of this Nations League. So let's get into it. Of course, it is talking about this. It is the Nations League, and I'm all excited. That's right. Of course, we are coming actually a little bit late in the day, but we're going to take a little look at the results, of course, which were the first legs. All right then, folks, now these are the results, and of course my predictions as well. My predictions on the left, the real deal was on the right. Turkey coming out on top of the 3-1 win over Hungary, got the one spot on the nose. Ukraine, though, absolutely destroyed Belgium, 3-1. I went the 2-0 the other way. Meanwhile, the Austrians only could draw with Serbia, 1-1. I went the 2-1 the other way. Meanwhile, Greece lost at home to Scotland. That was a shocker. 2-1 winners as well the other way. Armenia looked shite as well against Georgia, 3-0 win for them. They looked already safe as houses. Kosovo with a 2-1 win over Iceland, called that one bang on point. Ireland also with a win over Bulgaria, got that one pretty much close to the money. And Slovakia and Slovenia level pegging after the first leg, and I also got that one spot on as well. So those were the first legs. A couple of surprises in there, probably the Ukraine one and the Scotland one, major surprises. But what about, of course, the second legs? Well, let's get into that and more. Stand by. All right then, folks, here we go with those second legs. They should be on the screen right about now. I'm going to start with left. I don't actually which way we're going to go. We're going to find out together. So we're going to start with, of course, Hungary against Turkey. Of course, all the work to do for Hungary, but they are the hosts in this match. That's right. So let's get into the deep end. Taking place at the Puskás Stadium in Hungary. Marco Rossi still in charge. 40% form for them right now. Just one win, though, in the last 6 matches. Taking on Turkey, who are coming into this on 75% form. Just one defeat in the last 6, or still managed by Vincenzo Montella. They played 10 times since 1994, 4 wins apiece and 2 draws. Hungary, with their best win, a 2-0 win, scoring 11 goals in those 10 matches, 1.10 goals a game on average. Turkey, though, with a 3-0 win on the record, scoring 13 goals in those 10 games, 1.30 goals a match. That's right. Last time around, it was that 3-1 win in Turkey. Meanwhile, the last they played in Hungary was back in March 2024. It was a 1-0 win. In fact, Hungary have won 3 on the spin when they've taken on Turkey in their own backyard. So they're looking to make it 4 on the spin. They'll need a win because a win is the only way they can progress, but they'll need to get the goals in as well. But Turkey, unfortunately, look the real bloody deal. And of course, they are underdogs to the match, though, Turkey. They're slightly unfancied. Hungary with the bookies, expected to win, according to them. Not me, though. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win, which I don't think is going to be enough. We'll see at the end of it if we're who's going to go through and who will go home as well. Meanwhile, let's go over to Georgia. They're taking on Armenia, and I think Georgia looks set for promotion. That's right, coming at you, the Boris Palasenda Dynamo Arena, coming at you over in Tbilisi, maybe? Tbilisi. Georgia under Willy Sagnol right now. They are 42% form for them. Just one win in the last 5 up against Armenia. Under Jean Van Schip, just one win in the last 6 as well. They played 4 times in 2011. 2 wins Georgia, 1 for Armenia. There's been 1 draw as well. Last time around over in Georgia, it was a 2-1 win for Armenia, who won back-to-back games against Georgia, including the reverse fixture, which was just the other day in Armenia. That's right. Of course, Armenia actually unbeaten in the last 3 against Georgia. We'll fancy their chances to get another result, potentially. But they do come into this looking dreadful in that last match against Georgia there. So the bookies, they'll go with Georgia. They're hot fancied on this one. Armenia, not so much. Go with a 4-0 win. That's right. A bit of a cricket score in the end. And of course, Georgia will get promoted, I believe. Or yes, I think they get promoted. And of course, Armenia, not so much. Let's go forward then. It will be Belgium against Ukraine. Another team have got a lot of work to do. And that is the Belgians. That's right. They'll be the hosts coming out to the Gekker Arena. Rudy Garcia is the coach these days without a win in the last 5 matches. Good description. Up against Ukraine, who are unbeaten in the last 4. They played twice since 2024, 1 for Ukraine, nothing for Belgium. There's been 1 draw. Of course, that reverse fixture, 3-1 winners it was, way back in March 2025. They also played in the Euros not so long ago. It was a 0-0 draw way back in June 2024. Of course, Belgium's last home match was a 1-0 win for Italy, of course, way back in November. In fact, back-to-back home defeats for Belgium, both against France and Italy, the heavyweights. Meanwhile, the Ukraine's last away match was a 2-1 win over Albania. The bookies' odds for this one. Belgium fancied for the victory on this one. Ukraine, not so much. Going to go with a 2-1 win again for Belgium. It might be enough just for the win, but I don't think it'll get them through. We'll have to see at the end of it. Meanwhile, let's go over to Iceland. That's right, taking on Kosovo. Of course, coming over at the Stadio Enrique Roca di Murcia. Not sure where the heck that is. Does not sound Icelandic to me. Iceland, of course, under Arma and Gunnar Glargsson, just one win the last 6. They're 25% form for them right now. Meanwhile, of course, Kosovo under Franco Foda, just one defeat in the last 6. They've won 5 of that last 6. They've got 83% form, and they've played Iceland 3 times since 2017. 2 wins Iceland and 1 win for Kosovo. No draws, that's right. Iceland have a 2-0 win on the record. They've got 5 goals scored, 1.67 goals a game. Up against Kosovo, who have a 2-1 win, which was the reverse fixture. 3 goals scored in those 3 games. That's picking up a goal a game on average. 2-1 win it was the first leg. The last time I played in Iceland, it was a 2-0 win. And if they do repeat that scoreline, Iceland 2-0 win, they'll go through. Goodness gracious me. Last time Iceland were at home, they did lose to Turkey 4-2. Last time Kosovo were on the road, they picked up a 2-1 win over Lithuania, if my memory is correct. Quick look at the bookies' odds on this one. We're going Iceland are fancied for the victory on this one. Kosovo, not so much. I'm going 2-1 win again. I don't know if that's enough. We'll see at the end of it. Let's go over to Serbia, taking on Austria. Game was level pegging after the first leg. Taking place at the Stadio Ratko Mladic, Serbia, under Dragan Stojkovic. Just one win in the last 6. They're 42% form for them. Up against Austria under Ralf Rangnick, who are unbeaten in the last 5 matches. They played 6 times in 2008. 3 wins Serbia, 2 wins Austria, and there's been 1 draw between the 2 sides. Serbia have a 3-1 win on the record, scoring 11 goals in those 6 games, 1.83 goals a game. Up against Austria, 2-1 win, their biggest, scoring 9 goals in those 6 games, 1.50 goals a game. Last time around, over at well, the reverse fixture was a 1-1 draw. That was back here, of course, the other day. Last time I played in Serbia, it was a 3-2 win for Serbia back in October 2016, and a win for either side on the day will be enough for them to go through. So whoever wins this one, they will go through. But if it's a draw, then we'll have to see what else is out there. Bookies give it to Austria, but only just. It's a very, very tight game. Going to go with a 2-1 win, though, Serbia, which, of course, will send the Austrians out. And, of course, it'll be celebration time in Serbia. Let's go to Ireland, who have the upper hand against Bulgaria, taking place this time around over at Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Ireland under Heimir Hallgrímsson. They've won 3, lost 3 over the last 6. Up against Bulgaria under Ilyan Iliev. They're on 50% form as well. They've won 2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. They played each other 11 times since 1979. 4 wins Ireland, 2 wins Bulgaria. There's been 5 draws between the 2 sides. Ireland have a 3-0 win on the record, scoring 15 goals in those 11 games, 1.36 goals a game. Against Bulgaria, who have 2-1 win on the record, 9 goals scored, 0.82 goals a game. Last time around, over in Ireland, it was a 0-0 draw way back in November 2020. That will be enough for Ireland to go through because they're rocking a 2-1 win from the first leg in Bulgaria. Ireland are actually unbeaten against Bulgaria over the last 6, picking up 2 wins and 4 draws. That's right. So, been draw kings, and that will be enough. Last time they played, though, at home, Ireland did pick up a 1-0 win over Finland. Bulgaria's last away match was also a 1-0 win for them against Luxembourg. But the bookies back Ireland on this one. I think I'm going there as well. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win in the end for the Irish. Look at the Irish, of course. Shamrock and all that shenanigans. Let's go over to Scotland now. See you by the way. Scotland take on Greece. The Scots have just a slender 1-0 win on their record against the Greeks in the reverse fixture. This match taking place over at Hampden Park. The Scots under Stevie Clark unbeaten now in the last 4, picking up 3 wins on the spin. They're 58% form. Up against the Greeks under Ivan Jovic, of course, just 1 win the last 3. They played the Scots 3 times since 1994. 2 wins Scotland, 1 win for Greece. There's been no draws, and a draw in this match will be enough to send Scotland through. Last time around, of course, in Greece, it was a 1-0 win for the Scots. Meanwhile, they also played last time in Scotland, way back in August 1995. It was a 1-0 win as well for the Scots. Last time Scotland played at home, it was a 1-0 win over Croatia. They don't score many, do they? Do the Scots. Meanwhile, the Greeks, last time they were on the road, picked up a 2-0 win over Finland. A 2-0 win will probably be enough. The bookies' odds on this one, looking at it right here, right now, of course, Scotland are fancies for the victory here, but this one's tight. And I'm a Scotsman here, so I would be loving to see the Scots go through. A draw will be enough. I'm going with a 2-0 win. Going bold, going big. And maybe the Scots can party again this week with another win over the Greeks to maintain their top-tier status. I think that's what that will be. And then finally, of course, it's the trickiest one in town. It is going to be, what is it? Slovenia up against Slovakia in Slovenia. That's right, coming out of the Skočki Stadium. Slovenia under Matthias Kic, of course, 50% form for them right now. 1-2 lost to and draw 2 over the last 6. However, just 1 win in the last 5. Up against Slovakia, Francesco Calzona, just 1 defeat in the last 6 also. They've 8 times they've played since 2004. 3 wins Slovenia, 1 for Slovakia. 4 draws, of course. Last time around over at Slovakia, with the reverse fixture, it was a 0-0 draw. The reverse last time played at Slovenia, also a 1-1 draw. The last 3 have been draws, so this one does smell like it could be a draw. The last time Slovenia were the hosts, they picked up a 4-1 loss to Norway. Last time Slovakia played on the road, they also lost to Sweden. Goodness gracious me. The bookies on this one, again, they'll go with Slovenia. They're favoured for the home dugout here. Tight one. I'm going with the 1-0 win. Just those fine margins, and that might be enough. We'll see who goes through. Of course, we'll test your memory power. So, if I'm right, this is what the scorelines will be on aggregate. So, Hungary will crash out despite winning on the night. 4-3, Turkey go through. They'll be promoted. Hungary will be relegated. Meanwhile, we go down a little bit here. Ukraine with a 4-3 victory as well, which also will send Ukraine to the top tier. Will relegate Belgium to League B or Group B League B next time around. Meanwhile, it's dropped down 1 more, and of course, a 2-1 win for Serbia. We'll see them win 3-2. And again, they'll flip-flop divisions. Scotland will maintain their top of the tier status with a 3-0 win as well on aggregate to keep Greece in League B. Meanwhile, Georgia will jump up a notch, I think, with a 7-0 aggregate scoreline. Iceland, unfortunately, while they'll keep it level pegging, 3-3, will drag it to penalties. I think Iceland will nick it due to the home advantage, maybe, of course, penalty shootout kings. And then Ireland, well, they'll also get promoted or at least stave off relegation. I think they'll remain in B. I think Bulgaria will stay in C or something along those lines. And then, of course, bottom there, Slovenia will come out on top, 2-1 win in the cracking derby there. In the end. So that's what I've got, guys. Of course, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below as we look forward to the end of this Nations League. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you smash the like. I'll catch you all on the flip. Until then, we are done.